everyone, this is Dr. Liv with New Insight, and thank you so much for joining me in another video. The title of today's video is From Secure to Anxious Attachment, 4 Reasons to Consider. Not everyone who becomes anxious in relationships started that way. Some people were once secure, calm, trusting, and confident in love, until certain experiences slowly changed how they show up. And that shift can be confusing because you might find yourself thinking, why am I overthinking now? Why do I feel so anxious when I didn't before? Attachment styles influence how we communicate, connect, and give and receive love. While they are often shaped in childhood, they are not permanent. Life experiences, especially painful or repeated ones, can shift you from secure to anxious. So let's talk about how that actually happens. Here are 4 considerations. Number 1, betrayal and mistrust. A major factor that can shift someone from secure to anxious attachment is betrayal and mistrust. This can be dishonesty, disloyalty, emotional unavailability, or someone crossing a boundary you trusted them to respect. You opened up, you felt safe, you believed in the connection, and then something happened that broke that safety. That kind of experience doesn't just hurt in the moment, it changes how you moving forward. Now, instead of feeling grounded, you may start questioning everything, such as, what if this happens again? Did I miss something? Can I really trust someone? And if betrayal happens more than once, your mind starts trying to protect you by staying alert. But that protection often shows up as anxiety and hypervigilance. You start overanalyzing, needing constant reassurance, or anticipating problems that have not even happened. Number 2, changes in self-esteem. Your sense of security in relationships is closely tied to how you see and feel about yourself. So when your self-esteem shifts, your attachment style can shift with it. This could be due to changes in your appearance, such as weight gain or weight loss, career setbacks or financial stress, or feeling like you're not where you should be in life. When you start feeling less confident in yourself, it can quietly turn into fear within your relationships. You may begin to think, for example, what if I'm not enough? What if they find someone better? What if I lose this? And that fear can lead to seeking constant validation, comparing yourself to others, becoming more sensitive to small changes. Even if your partner has not changed, your perception has. Number 3, the energy you're around. Sometimes the shift from secure to anxious attachment doesn't come directly from your relationship, but from what surrounds you. The conversations you engage in, the content you consume, the patterns you observe. If you're constantly exposed to toxic relationship stories, cheating narratives, negative beliefs about love, dysfunctional dynamics in family or friends, your mind starts to absorb that. And without realizing it, you may begin expecting those same patterns to happen in your life. And this creates hypervigilance, always scanning for problems. It creates catastrophic thinking, always assuming the worst before it happens. And over time, it becomes harder to feel safe, even in a healthy relationship. Number 4, faulty thinking and thought traps. Sometimes the shift from secure to anxious attachment happens internally through your own thinking patterns. And when thinking patterns become unhealthy and faulty, they can develop into what is known as thought traps, which work against us. These thought traps can look like assuming the worst without clear evidence, overgeneralizing past experiences, mind reading your partner's intentions, letting emotions define reality. For example, I feel anxious, so something must be wrong. But feelings are not always facts. When these thought patterns remain unchecked, they reinforce anxiety and create a cycle where Your thoughts increase your fear, and your fear strengthens those same thoughts, and you get looped into an anxiety cycle. So over time, all of this can create distance in your relationships. You might find yourself overthinking simple situations, feeling easily triggered, asking for reassurance more often, or reacting in ways that don't align with who you used to be. And that can be frustrating, especially when you know this isn't how you used to show up. But here's the key. This shift did not happen randomly, and it's not permanent. Awareness is where change begins. Start by taking the time for self-reflection, not to judge, just to observe your own patterns in relationships. And ask yourself questions such as these. What situations trigger my anxiety? What am I afraid of losing? What do I need to feel secure, respected, and valued? Then take accountability. Notice any unhealthy thinking patterns and habits you might have. Not in a way that blames you, but in a way that empowers you. Once you can identify the pattern, you can interrupt it. You can challenge the thoughts instead of believing them automatically. Communicate your needs more clearly, create healthier emotional habits, and rebuild your sense of internal security. Understand that you are not stuck in anxious attachment. You adapted based on what you have learned. And anything that was learned can also be unlearned, reshaped, and healed. So if you've noticed this shift in yourself, do not ignore it. Pay attention to it, because the more self-aware you become, the more control you have over how you show up in relationships. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.